Hey everyone, welcome back. We're about to take a deep dive
Yeah.
into a fascinating world. It's the world of hybridized language.
Yeah.
Where languages and cultures kind of collide and create something totally new.
Exactly.
So we've got some excerpts from a paper called The More the Better, The Benefits of Hybridized Language.
Oh, interesting.
And let me tell you, you might be surprised to learn just how much these blended languages like Spanglish
Yeah.
or Chinglish can actually impact your life.
Well, you know what's fascinating is that hybridized languages aren't just about sounding cool.
Right.
They offer this unique blend of cognitive, professional, and even personal advantages that can make a real difference in how we navigate
Wow.
an increasingly interconnected world.
I am intrigued already.
Good.
But before we get ahead of ourselves,
Right.
let's lay the groundwork.
Yeah.
This paper really emphasizes
Yeah.
the close connection between language and culture.
Right. They're practically inseparable.
Yeah.
Language is the lifeblood of culture.
Oh.
It's how we express our values, how we share our stories, and ultimately shape our understanding of the world.
I see.
And when cultures collide, their languages often do too, creating something new and vibrant in the process.
Like Spanglish, for example.
Exactly.
I mean, it's everywhere in American society.
It is.
The paper mentions this massive $134 billion investment
Wow.
in Spanish commercials and marketing.
Exactly. That's a testament to the growing influence of Hispanic American culture
Right.
and the way it's shaping the linguistic landscape.
Yeah.
It's not just about language, it's about cultural representation
Uh-huh.
and economic power.
So we're talking about a major cultural force here.
Oh, absolutely.
But the paper goes even further.
Okay.
It claims that there are actual cognitive benefits to speaking a hybridized language.
Interesting.
Now, I have to admit, I'm a bit skeptical.
Sure.
Could you break that down for me?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You see, when you speak a hybridized language,
Yeah.
your brain is constantly switching back and forth between different linguistic systems. It's like a mental cross-training that strengthens your cognitive flexibility and your multitasking abilities.
Okay.
Think of it like this.
Yeah.
Imagine juggling,
Okay.
but with languages.
Okay, that's a helpful visual.
Yeah.
But can you give me some real-world examples
Uh-huh.
of what these cognitive benefits look like?
Well, studies have shown that bilinguals
Okay.
actually outperform monolinguals
Interesting.
in certain cognitive tasks.
Oh, wow.
For instance, a study in behavioral science found that bilinguals excel in areas like attention,
Okay.
working memory,
Yeah.
and what we call cognitive control.
Cognitive control.
Basically, the ability to filter distractions and focus on what's important.
So it's not just about thinking faster.
No.
It's about having better control
Yes,
over your thought processes.
precisely.
Okay.
It's about being able to switch gears mentally,
Mm-hmm.
adapt to new information quickly, and resist distractions. Okay.
These are valuable skills in any field,
I see.
from academics to business to everyday life.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But this paper also highlights some pretty amazing real-world success stories, right?
Right. One particularly compelling anecdote
Okay.
is about someone who speaks Chinglish,
Chinglish?
a blend of Chinese and English.
Interesting.
This individual was able to leverage
Yeah.
their unique language skills
Okay.
to secure better job opportunities
Mm-hmm.
with higher pay
Wow.
and even travel perks.
So there's a tangible advantage in the job market.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's huge.
It is. But it's not just about speaking two languages separately.
Right.
It's about being able to code switch,
Code switch.
to effortlessly weave them together
Yeah.
in a single conversation.
Mm.
That adaptability demonstrates a deep cultural understanding and a valuable ability to connect with different audiences.
So it sounds like code switching is about more than just language.
It's about cultural fluency and
Exactly.
the ability to navigate
Yeah.
different social contexts.
Exactly. It's like having a secret weapon
Yeah.
in your communication arsenal,
Mm.
allowing you to connect with people on a deeper level and build bridges
I see.
across cultures.
This makes me think about how language also plays a key role in shaping our identity
Absolutely.
and sense of belonging.
You're right, and the paper explores this idea through a fascinating comparison
Okay.
between the Chinglish speaker's experience
Yeah.
and an anecdote from Richard Rodriguez's book,
Richard Rodriguez.
My Family's Language.
Oh, My Family's Language.
Yeah.
Okay. So Rodriguez's book is all about his experience growing up bilingual, right?
Exactly.
He was hesitant to learn English
Yeah,
because he feared losing his Spanish identity.
exactly. He felt like embracing a new language meant sacrificing a part of himself, A sentiment I think many bilingual individuals can relate to.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that the Chinglish speaker's story offers a different perspective.
Okay.
One where hybridized language acts as a bridge, connecting rather than dividing identities.
So instead of choosing one culture over another,
Right.
you're essentially creating a space for both to exist and thrive through language.
Precisely, hybridized languages allow you to embrace the multifaceted nature of your identity.
Yeah.
Honoring all the different cultural influences that make you, well, you.
Right.
And this is especially important
Yeah.
for individuals navigating diverse cultural landscapes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like international students adapting to a new country.
It's like having a linguistic anchor in unfamiliar territory.
Exactly.
It provides a sense of belonging and grounds you in your heritage while you're exploring a new world.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
It's about finding that sweet spot where you can be both global and rooted.
Yeah.
You know, this brings up another layer of this discussion that I find incredibly fascinating.
I'm all ears. What is it?
It's the way hybridized languages challenge our traditional notions of language purity and cultural boundaries. For so long, there's been this idea that languages should remain pure.
Yeah.
That mixing them somehow diminishes or corrupts them.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that before.
Oh, I'm sure.
People insisting on speaking proper English or Spanish with no mixing allowed.
Right.
But wouldn't you say hybridized languages show us that language is anything but static?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They embody the fluidity and dynamic nature of language. It's constantly evolving through these cross-cultural interactions, enriching itself in the process.
It's like they're saying cultures aren't isolated either.
Yeah.
They're constantly influencing and shaping one another.
Exactly. It's a beautiful tapestry of human connection woven together through the threads of language.
Wow.
Think about it. Every hybridized language has its own unique origin story, a narrative of cultural exchange and adaptation.
So it's not just about the words themselves, but the history they carry and the connections they represent.
Precisely. And those stories can be incredibly powerful. Yeah. They challenge stereotypes, bridge cultural divides, and foster a sense of shared understanding. It's a reminder that we're all connected, even in our differences.
Wow. Hearing all of this has really shifted my perspective.
You're good.
It's not just about being bilingual.
Right.
It's about embracing the richness and complexity of our increasingly interconnected world.
You're getting it.
Yeah.
That's why I believe this topic is so important.
Okay.
Hybridized languages reflect who we are as a global society, increasingly diverse, interconnected, and constantly evolving.
This makes me wonder, what role can education play in fostering this kind of cross-cultural understanding through hybridized language?
Education is key.
Yeah.
Imagine if schools encourage students to learn hybridized languages.
Okay.
Not just as foreign languages, but as valuable tools for communication, cultural understanding, and cognitive development.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Classrooms where students are encouraged to code switch, share their linguistic heritage, and explore the tapestry of hybridized languages from around the world.
Right.
Yeah.
It would be an incredibly powerful learning experience, both academically and personal.
Yeah.
It would equip students to be true global citizens, ready to navigate a world where cultural fluency is becoming more and more essential.
This conversation has been so inspiring.
Good.
It feels like we've only just scratched the surface of this fascinating topic.
We've definitely laid a good foundation for understanding the power and potential of hybridized language.
Right.
Hopefully we've sparked our listeners' curiosity to delve deeper into this world.
So to recap, we've explored the cognitive benefits, the career advantages, and the cultural significance of speaking a hybridized language.
Right.
It really does seem like a superpower.
I wholeheartedly agree. Yeah.
It empowers you to connect with people on a deeper level, broaden your horizons, and embrace the richness of our interconnected world.
I'm actually feeling motivated to explore some hybridized languages myself.
That's great.
Yeah.
Who knows, maybe someday we'll all be fluent in a beautiful blend of languages and cultures.
Yeah.
That's a future I'd love to see.
Absolutely. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's shift gears and tackle a question that's been on my mind throughout our conversation. We've talked about all these amazing benefits of hybridized languages, but what does this mean for the future of language itself? Could these blended forms of communication actually reshape how we speak and interact in the years to come?
That's a question worth pondering.
Yeah.
As our world becomes increasingly interconnected,
Right.
those lines between languages and cultures are becoming more and more blurred.
Yeah.
We're already seeing a fusion of languages happening in real time.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the internet. Exactly.
It's a melting pot of languages, slang, emojis. It's like a living experiment.
It is.
In how we adapt language to connect across cultures and continents.
Exactly. The digital world is a fascinating microcosm of how language evolves.
Yeah.
We see the rise of internet slang that transcends geographical boundaries.
Right.
Emojis becoming a universal language of emotion, and different dialects influencing each other through online interactions. And as technology continues to break down those barriers, I think we'll see even more hybridization and innovation in language.
So are you suggesting we might see a future where distinct languages, as we know them today, start to merge and blend, creating entirely new forms of communication?
It's certainly a possibility.
Wow.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Languages have always been fluid and adaptable,
Right.
changing over time to reflect the needs and experiences of the people who speak them. Hybridization just accelerates that process, bringing together different linguistic elements and forging new pathways for expression.
That's both exciting and a little daunting, isn't it?
It is.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities for creativity and connection,
Yeah.
but also daunting because it challenges us to rethink our traditional notions of language and identity.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
It's a shift in perspective.
Okay.
Hybridized languages represent the best of humanity. Our ability to adapt, to innovate, and to find common ground even in the face of difference.
I see.
They remind us that language isn't static.
Right.
It's a living, breathing entity that reflects the dynamism of human culture.
So what does all of this mean for our listeners?
Yeah.
What's the key takeaway from our deep dive into the world of hybridized language?
Simply put,
Okay.
embrace the power of these blended languages.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to mix and match, to code switch, to play with language and see what emerges.
Yeah.
This isn't just about communication. It's about connection creativity and pushing the boundaries of how we express ourselves.
Exactly. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll discover a hidden talent for language learning. Or even be inspired to invent your own hybridized language.
Yeah.
The possibilities are truly endless.
Now, there is a challenge for our listeners.
Okay.
What kind of hybridized language would you create? What cultures would you blend?
Yeah.
What new forms of expression would you invent?
Yeah.
It's a fascinating thought experiment, and who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe some of those creations will end up shaping the future of language itself.
It's amazing how exploring something as familiar as language can lead to such profound insights about culture, identity, and the future of human connection.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I hope our listeners are feeling inspired to go out and explore this world of hybridized languages for themselves.
Right.
There's a whole universe of linguistic creativity out there waiting to be discovered.
So keep those linguistic gears turning and remember, embrace the hybrid.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time
Yes.
for another fascinating exploration.